clickety clack. Along main lines, rickety track.
She whispers softly in my ear,
just to say your last name.
Just find a place to make the sentiment easy.
that's just the way it is. Sit down, see when things could only get better.
Yet the same in so many ways.
I no recollection of the last time I came here.
But if we get much closer, I could lose control. And if your heart surrenders, you'll need me to hold.
I wouldn't be myself without you. Take a piece, take a picture of me. I don't care what happens, see, 'cause I know I'm happy.
Hello everybody and welcome once again to Kandu Arts for Sustainable Development's Open Mic for Open Minds in association with the Rivo Lounge and Co-Buy Tracks. My name is Brian Reid and this is episode 95, the big 95. And as we sort of hurtle towards a century of open mics and online celebrations of local talent, I get the best job in the world because I get to introduce it. I get to say hello and I get to talk about the stuff that's bothering me or not bothering me. It'd be nice to talk about stuff that doesn't bother me. It'd be nice to talk about things that make you happy. I mean, like, something happened to me this morning that made me very happy, which was basically my missus burnt the toast. Okay, unless you live in my household, you wouldn't understand how significant that event is, just because I'm always the one that's being told off for burning stuff. You turned that up too, you didn't leave it, keep an eye on it, don't go in it, let me know and I'll go and do it for you. Okay, I'm like I turn into a child as I cross the threshold of the kitchen. Okay, and maybe that's because if I get near a fridge I get a bit excited. Right, I mean, okay, I'll put my hands up, I'm guilty as charged. Okay, so I can't tell you how funny it was for me to be able to say to my wife, Mandy, did you burn the toast? And there was no answer. And as I said it again, I said, Mandy, did you burn the toast? Right. Thankfully, my wife's long-suffering, and also she's got a highly developed sense of humour, which is one of the reasons that I married her. I think that the joke was on me, quite frankly, but it's not a decision that I've ever regretted after 32 years. So I want to thank her for making me chuckle this morning, in a small way that only a wife can do. All right, because like, even though she knew I was taking the mickey out of her, she went with the flow. Okay, and sometimes when people go with the flow, that's like the best acceptance that you can get. When people tolerate your idiocy or your silliness or your stupidity or your current mood or whatever. So I'd just like to share that bit of family life minutiae with you, just in case people get the wrong idea about the fact that I'm always going on about Boris bloody Johnson or something else like that. There are more important things than the Prime Minister. Granted, there aren't many, which of course leads me to my old mate Boris. Okay, and you'll have noticed last week, even when the row over the Tory parties. Sorry, let me say that again. Tory parties. Okay, it's reaching its zenith. It's reaching its point where the whole media news machine is consumed with who went to a party and who didn't go to a party. All I would need to know is, like, how many actual parties did they have? And my God, what are these people doing on the public dime? All they're doing is having a party. I mean, what is that about? Okay. So the thing is like, there's nothing that I can say that could make Boris any more buffoonish, okay, or buffoonerized. Maybe that's a new word. Like I said before, he reminds me of a overweight fifth former who still ties his tie badly, or usually has it round his head like a sort of strange bandana, and is wants to play rugby and drink beer and chase girls, and not necessarily in that order, and sometimes all at the same time. So I'm not going to add to his woes, because quite frankly, Boris has sort of moved on from the place where is he going to last, and what? It's not a question of if with Boris any longer. It's just a question of when. And the truth is that when the Tory party and the MPs who are all out there riding that gravy train as hard as they can, they're like sort of pro surfers on the world tour who only ever go to California and South Africa, okay, living it large on the public dollar. They'll get rid of him. All right, and they'll replace him with another representative of that particular ilk, okay, who is well versed in the trends and the mechanics of entitledness and privilege, okay, and who will look after himself and his mates, or her health and her friends, okay, just as they've always done. Of course, except of course when they're stabbing each other in the back trying to get to the top of the greasy pole. All right, so the thing is, the truth of the matter is that these people deserve each other. They need to be together, and the more time they spend with each other, that means the less time they spend with us, and that suits me down to the flipping ground. Okay. Every time I listen to our apparatchik local MP Michelle Donlan coming in to voice the party line, I'm reminded of a Stepford wife and a wind-up doll, okay, who've been like somehow sort of genetically spliced in a laboratory and programmed to regurgitate certain messages and situations ad infinitum, ad nauseum. And so you're not going to get any sense there. You're not going to get any truth there. And you're not going to get any real change there. The only change comes from the ballot box, okay? And that means you've got to change your thinking. That means you've got to change what is important to you. I mean, quite personally, I'm amazed how we haven't got to a point yet in this country. It tells you something about how the media works and what have you, that still the Green Party and the people that actually want to who keep talking about saving the planet and want to save the planet, prepared to do something to change the planet, they are completely marginalised consistently by the amount of money that's spent by big business and corporations and governments, okay, to propagate an unsustainable financial and economic system that we live under. All right, where we will continue to consume resources until there's nothing left, and then we'll fight like hell for what's left over. And that way, obviously, means that we're basically a rat population that's about to explode, and then we'll crash, okay, when available sources run out. And that might seem like an extreme representation, okay, but if you just get back from the big I am and that we're the top of the food chain and we're the smartest things out there, we're just people with opposable thumbs, okay, and we've got large brains, and that means we're tool users and we make stuff and we control stuff. But the truth is that what we're good at is not controlling, but exploiting. And what we're good at is sucking all the goodness out of whatever's in front of us until there's nothing less, and there's a dried husk, all right, that you can't even put in the ground because there's no goodness left in it. So, if we want to change the people that govern us, we need to change the way we think about what we want and the way we think about our democracy. And we've got to start empowering people who are actually doing some good in the world, instead of empowering the people who want to do bad. But hey, what do I know? Okay, I'm just like sort of your average 62-year-old citizen who's like sort of mad as hell and just has to say something now and again. But apart from that, I'm just like everybody else. And that brings me to the most important part of this section, which is welcome, this is the open mic. Okay, and there's been some great performances that have been added to. I'm so happy that people are still supporting us and checking us out. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Take it away, you open micers.
No, this one is called One of the 10,000. One man in his 50s, bearded, scruffy, so alone, eats at soup kitchens. The woodland is his home. His head is crying, screaming, loud voices make him It's why he loves the woodland peace. For his brain it is enough. Once he stood proud, a sergeant, fought for freedom, fought for peace, led his men through violent gunfire, kept them safe from IEDs. But the noise, the bangs and screams imprinted on his mind after he left the British forces. At night he screamed and cried. The horrors that now invaded were visions hard and fast. He had to leave his family, couldn't bear his children's laugh. In the woods, the trees, the quiet, he could breathe. Shut out the noise. When he cried or screamed, it was okay. He could remember all his boys. He is one of the 10,000 from the forces who have left, one of 10,000 who suffer mental health, one of 10,000 who cannot get the help, one forgotten soldier crying by himself.
I'm going to share a poem with you this week, and this is one that I came across online, and it really spoke to me. I was thinking a lot about the way that people with no voices are treated, or how people who've got voices are ignored, and that's talking about a lot of women. It has been for a long time, and I found this online. This is by a poet called Becky Hemsley. All right. And this poem is called Breathe. She sat at the back, and they said she was shy. She led from the front, and they hated her pride. They asked her advice, and then questioned her guidance, and branded her loud, then were shocked by her silence. When she shared no ambition, they said it was sad. So she told them her dreams, and they said she was mad. They told her they'd listen, then covered their ears and gave her a hug whilst they laughed at her fears. And she listened to all of them, thinking she should be the girl they told her to be, best as she could. But one day she asked what was best for herself, instead of trying to please everyone else. So she walked to the forest and stood with the trees. She heard the wind whisper and dance with the leaves. She spoke to the willow, the elm, and the pine. She told them she'd been told what she'd been told time after time. She told them she never felt nearly enough. She was either too little or far, far too much. Too loud, too quiet, too fierce or too weak, too wise or too foolish, too bold or too weak. So she found a small clearing surrounded by firs, and she stopped and she heard what the trees said to her. She sat there for hours, not wanting to leave, for the forest said nothing. It just let her breathe. Thank you.
I've just seen her face, I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just the girl for me, and I want all the world to see we've met. La 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 la. Had it been another day, I might have looked the other way, and I'd have never been aware. But as it is, I'll dream of her tonight. La 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 la. Falling, yes I am falling, and she keeps calling me back again. I have never known the likes parts of this I've been alone, and I have missed things and kept out of sight, for other girls were never quite like this. La 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 la. Falling, yes I am falling, and she keeps calling me back again. Falling, yes I am falling, and she keeps calling me back again. I've just seen her face, I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just the girl for me, and I want all the world to see we've met. La 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 la. Falling, yes I am falling, and she keeps calling me back again.
4, 5, I've got you. Was troubling you tonight, 'cause I've got you. Close your eyes and dream of summer skies. It's gonna be alright, 'cause I've got you. I've seen you at your best, and I've got you. I've seen you at your worst, and I've got you. When life is in reverse and you feel like you've been cursed, forget about the rest, 'cause I've got you. If you should start to slide, I'll be there for the ride, 'cause 4 hands holding on beats only 2. The path is far and long, and we aren't here for long, but we can make it wide enough for 2. We can make it wide enough for 2. When you open up your eyes, I got you. When the sun begins to rise, I got you. When I'm losing the fight, I can see the light. It's gonna be alright, 'cause I got you. The path is far and long, we aren't here for long, but we can make it wide enough for 2. If you start to slide, I'll be there for the ride. It's 4 hands holding on beats only 2. 4 hands holding on, it's only 2. When you open up your eyes, I got you. When the sun begins to rise, I got you. And when I'm losing the fight, I can see the light. It's gonna be alright, 'cause I got you. It's gonna be, it's gonna be, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright, 'cause I got you. 'Cause I got you.
Wise men say For I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you.
And now, if you're watching me again, that means that we've come to the end of another episode. Well, a couple of things to let you know about going on in the future. I've just found out that we are going to try to have a new, another open mic for open minds in public at the Rivo Lounge on Wednesday, the 2nd of February. You know, I hope some of you are available to come see that. I'm certainly glad I'm going to be there. If you'd like to be part of our open mic, if you'd like to contribute, okay, then you can do so by sending your contribution via email to openmic@kandu-arts.com. That's openmic@kandu-arts.com. And we will add you to our diversity and our contributors list. Okay, but right now it's all from me. I'm going to hand you over to the main man from Kandu himself, Mr. Ed Deedigan. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye bye.
Break my heart. You break my heart. Yes, you do. You make it difficult for me to get through. You block the way. You turn the sky gray. Yes, you do. You make it difficult to get through. I know you have capacity for one. I know your patience won't last long. Before I wake up, I know you're gone. Thrilling me daily with this song. You make it bad. You make me sad. Yes, you do. You're making it hard for me to tell the truth. Nice is nice. Take it easy, bro. Nice.